What an ungodly hour of the morning. It is 3:30 on the 10th of July 2025. We're up, we're ready, and we're on our way. Come along with us for this journey. So you might be asking yourselves, what is this journey? Well, there you go, Solihull or Birmingham Airport through to Lanzarote. This is the entrance to the departure lounge at Birmingham Airport. It was 6:15 flight. This is probably about 4:30 in the morning, quite quiet, not too bad. We decided to have a bit of breakfast, and instead of having the lounge as we usually do, we went to the Bottega Prosecco bar, and I have to say that was gorgeous. Not much more waiting time when we went out to our aircraft. This is an A321neo belonging to Jet2 Airlines. We find it quite comfortable, and the Jet2 crew were wonderful. One of the best things about these Jet2 aircraft is the leg room. Now, I'm not exactly tall, however, there's plenty of leg room even for a 6-footer there, and very happy to enjoy that. So let's just pause for a moment, well, not pause for a moment, let's just keep running and watch our lovely takeoff. So after a lovely flight down 3 or so hours, we were met by this, and I'll be talking more about this in a couple of moments. First impressions, the view from the reception is absolutely stunning. So here's our room. Let's talk you through it. We start, good storage on the right. On the left we have the bathroom. Bathroom is gorgeous. We requested a walk-in shower and got a walk-in shower. Nice single sink, but it's plenty for us. And this is the shower. It did clog once, which is a bit of a shame. However, it was fixed very quickly by the maintenance team. Housekeeping were really good at bringing in the towels when we wanted new towels, and really good at keeping this room absolutely immaculate throughout. The whole of the room was beautifully looked after from start to finish. So coming out of the bathroom, you have the wardrobe, and there is more than an adequate hanging space here, and also plenty of stacking space. I'm going to touch on another aspect of the storage in a little piece later on in the video in a few seconds time. But yeah, plenty of shelf space. We had a safe, and then we come down to the mini bar, which was restocked. We did have a bit of an issue with the restocking of the mini bar, but it got resolved in the end. But essentially, because we're Prestige AI, they restocked what we'd used every day. Plenty of wine and other drinkies in there. Nice little bottle of cava to welcome us on our arrival, which we enjoyed greatly. Coffee machine, no tea, but we did bring our own kettle with us. And then a massive bed, which was very comfortable. And we had robes and slippers as well. Perhaps I should mention AI. I don't mean artificial intelligence, I mean all-inclusive. And we'll come back to Prestige and what that represents in a couple of moments. Hello everybody. So 2:30 in the morning this morning, I did a very brief intro to this video. Let me tell you more now. It is 6:15 in the evening, and we, as you can see, I'm no longer in good old Blighty. I'm now in Lanzarote, and I'm here with my partner Sarah at the Hotel Costa, Calero, Thalasso and Spa. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about the journey. I'll be adding some video in and around the start of the video about the flight. A lovely flight out. Started out, we were being told by the captain that we would not be departing until quite late. However, that didn't come to pass. We were allowed, because enough Spanish air traffic controllers arrived at work, we were allowed to suddenly shoot off and make our way south. Lovely smooth flight all the way. Slight bit of turbulence on the way into Lanzarote, but once we arrived, smooth touchdown, lovely flight, happy days. Then the disaster started. Took us, I would estimate, over an hour to clear passport control. Seemed to be no system. There were about 10 machines, 5 flights arriving from UK alone at that point in time, and only 2 officers stamping passports in. That was a bit of a pain. So over an hour there. Baggage collect, no problem at all. Collect the bags up. Went to the Jet2 lady in the concourse and said, "We think we might take a taxi." "Oh, no," she said. "The taxis are 45 minutes on average to get through the queue." We ignored her, and we were glad we did. 15 minutes later, we were in a taxi. 20 minutes later, we were arriving here at this lovely hotel. Our first impressions are great, it must be said. I've had some dealings with Miguela, who is a member of staff here, and she's been very helpful with cooking up some ideas for Sarah's birthday early next week. But I've also found that everybody I've dealt with so far has been just delightful, really, really helpful people. Got a couple of minor gripes. Our bedroom, plenty of storage, but no drawers. The only drawer in here is in Sarah's bedside table. Can we live with that? Yes, we can, but it's just a little disappointing at this level. Wide opening patio doors, brilliant. Really, really comfortable with that. The view from here is spectacular. Let's see if we can just push it around a bit. And as you can see over there, we have Fuerteventura. Won't go far enough around to show you the mountains, but there are mountains over there. And down in the garden there are pools. Lovely, lovely surroundings. The Prestige room is good. There's a great bar, which I'll show you a picture of in a little while. Sandwiches by the end of the day are getting a little dry. Not so nice. Good range of spirits. We can have Hendrick's, Tanqueray, Gordon's, Johnny Walker Red Label, whole range. I'll probably try and print the menu in the rest of the video. So, in conclusion then, it's a long day. We're looking forward to dinner, which is in about 40 minutes time. And having done that, happy days, early night, do some exploring tomorrow. Catch up. So we don't do sunbed wars, but I do get up at 7 o'clock or earlier every morning. It's just the way I am. And I can't lie in a darkened room waiting for my other half to wake up, so I go down to the pool. And this is early morning pool. This is the top pool, La Cascada. It's the pool where the entertainment goes on during the course of the day. It is fresh water. During the summer it's not heated, but although it feels a little bit of an intake of breath when you first step into it, it's actually really lovely once you're in. So as you can see, 7 in the morning, there are a few people putting towels down on the sunbeds around this particular pool, but there are so many different pool areas here at the Costa Calero that you really don't need to worry about that. Absolutely superb set of pools around and areas to sit around. As you walk along here, you can notice that there is the reason for the name La Cascada. The pool is effectively an infinity pool and feeds the lower pool down there. You'll see very few towels down in that area, and part of the reason for that is the grass is absolutely soaking at this time in the morning because it's been well and truly watered. And that lower pool is where the inflatables are allowed for the children, and that does obviously have the effect of there being more children in the area. And at the time we travelled, there were no British children on holiday, there were British children, there were Scots and Irish children were on holiday, but no English children to speak of because we're still within the English school term. Over in the distance you can see a little building. That is the pool bar down at this pool. It doesn't open until 12:30, at least at the time we were there in early July. But once it's open, it serves a full range of drinks and snacks. There's also toilets down next to the pool bar there, so you're never far away from the loo if you need it. So we'll just have a further wander around. So as we're heading in this direction, we're going towards the garden view rooms that look out over the gardens and don't get a view of the pool. There are other garden view rooms along the opposite side of La Cascada pool where you get a lovely view of the pool as well as being able to sit on your own private little terrace with your own little sunbeds. So the top end of the patio here, the building we're looking at is the building where the a la carte meals are served, and more of that later on. And then we're coming round towards the main pool bar. This is the biggest of the pool bars. Drinks are served here probably 10-ish in the morning onwards, and then this open area here to the left is where the lunches are served, and very fine they are too. Now, unfortunately I haven't got much film of lunches, but I do have plenty of film of breakfasts and dinners, which we'll refer to a bit later on. So that's just a little circuit of the top part of the pool areas and gardens. As you can see, in the morning it's all clean, all very, very comfortable. Shortly the sun will come up quite high in the sky, the parasols will go up, there's plenty of shade. Some reports of broken parasols. I didn't see one, but they do take a bit of getting used to put up. And here we come to the pitch that we chose for the first couple of days. Sitting right on the corner of the pool, steps next to us, easy access into the water. As you can see, there are plenty of sets of steps. There are 3 or 4 going into this pool, make getting in and out very easy. During the day there was frequent inflatables put up where the kids could get splashed, and indeed adults. Some of the so-called adults were jumping up and down on those as well, having a high old time and lots of fun. But yeah, it was a great pool area to be around. We didn't spend the entire holiday in this area. We'll show you other areas soon. So that's the pool areas. Beautiful, lovely, lovely place. The hotel's pretty much built on an L shape with some lower blocks on the front of the hotel, if you like. This is the corridor leading from our hotel down to reception. Now, the floors are a little confusing. We were on floor 4, reception was on floor 3. The restaurant's on floor 2, and then the pool's on floor 1, which does seem a little confusing. However, you soon get used to it. And they're really lovely areas, the communal areas and corridors and so on, full of gardens, as you can see. Plenty of light and automatic doors open into reception. Here in reception, again you can see it's kept clean throughout the day. That view out to the right is just truly stunning, and the little water feature just gives it a lovely feeling. Your first entrance into the hotel is into this area of reception, which is again light and airy and has the most incredible lighting effect and atrium, if you like, up to the sky. Gorgeous. And as I say, we're sitting here on the 3rd floor, and we'll show you more of the other floors in a couple of seconds. Could get dizzy looking at that. So there's the hotel entrance, seen from just inside. A couple of large couches, nice and comfy. The table to the right there usually holds welcome drinks, but this was taken very early in the morning, as you'd expect. Didn't want to disturb other guests with my filming. So the view over to the mountains is gorgeous. Sitting on your right there is Miguela, that I mentioned earlier. She's a very, very helpful member of the customer services team. Lifts to the other floors, information desk, that's the customer information area. No, that's the hotel specific one, it's not the one where the travel companies are. So here's some film of the marina. We took a day to go to Puerto del Carmen, and we chose to do it on board the water taxi. Water taxi costs £11 single or 18 euro return journey. We took a return. It's about a 25-minute trip on the way out, same on the way back, but they pause on the way back to feed the fish and let you use the glass bottom boat. We'll sit and just watch this for a minute. So we approach into Puerto del Carmen, Old Town, into the old harbour, and we moored up and went for a walk. Now, I didn't record the walk because I want this film to be mostly about the Hotel Costa Calero, but just for you special video followers, here we go with our approach into PDC, as they like to call it. It's a lovely little trip on this water taxi. The crew are great, happy-go-lucky. There's full facilities on board. We were lucky, I suppose, that it wasn't too rough today, because bear in mind it is the Atlantic and it can get a little choppy, but certainly not for ourselves. And it was a great trip. Really enjoyed it, and good value for money as well. And the return with the glass bottom was equally, it was quite special to see how many fish suddenly interested in a little bit of bread when thrown into the water. Waters are very clear around the island, most impressive. Really pleased with the whole place. We did walk over 14,500 steps during our trip, all the way up to the top end of what they call the strip. Lots of restaurants. We had a lovely lunch while we were there, a couple of beers. Really quite an enjoyable day, and certainly well worth doing. So I'll leave you to watch the rest of the mooring stage. So having returned, had a bit of dinner. This is the piano bar. Again, too many people around for me to feel comfortable filming too much of this, but we did a couple of nights in the bar. Lovely bar, plenty of drinks choice and waiter service, and cabaret of varying levels of skill. But the views in the evening over the moon came up over the rest of the hotel, absolutely stunning. Back in the morning, and I wanted to do a complete walkthrough as best I could. So here we are outside the hotel, and we're going to enter now into reception. As you can see, there is a wide parking area there, which is where the coaches drop you off and pick you up. And then a few steps, but also ramps if you want to drag your cases on wheels up the ramps. So quite well catered for people who have mobility issues. Plenty of ramps around the place. You can get to almost everywhere without having to worry about too many steps. So when we go into reception, I mentioned earlier those two couches, they're usually populated by people waiting for homeward transfers. And again, I've taken this video quite early so that we're not disturbing too many other guests with the presence of a tubby little Englishman wandering around with a gimbal. Reception desk, always populated by very helpful people. No issues whatsoever with any member of staff at this hotel. There are a couple of TripAdvisor reviews criticising them. They're all lovely. They're so helpful, friendly, smiles on faces, want to do the best they can for you. So there you go, public information desk for the hotel. In a moment we'll be seeing where the reps hide out. Inevitably suitcases at all times of the day and night during the season. And this lovely open lounge area which got the benefit of the piano bar. I really liked the piano bar, I thought it was lovely. Scattered around the hotel you see there's the occasional screen to tell you what the entertainment is for that day, for that night, depending on which screen they are. As you can see, got a saxophonist coming up and a guitarist. We'd already had a pianist and a singer by that stage. And we come to the grand staircase. This is quite a sight, this staircase. Only descends from the third floor to the second floor, but that's quite a descent, as you can see. So let's go down. The gardens within the hotel, absolutely lovely. They've beautifully maintained. I love these palm trees that are scattered around, indoors and outdoors, and they're flourishing and well tended, looked after by the team of the hotel. And as you can see down here, you've got some seating. You've got a pool table over there on the right, and as we pull round here, you have the area where the reps sit. So we were travelling with Jet 2, as I may have mentioned, and the reps sat there on the left. And I've decided to change direction at this point, but I'm sure we'll see more of that later. Coming down towards the entrance to the main restaurant now. Really loved this restaurant. Very comfortable. And there are separate areas for prestige customers, so we were taking full advantage of that, of course, because having paid extra for it. Been quite recently refurbished, and at breakfast they shut off certain parts of it just to keep it preserved. Wine racks there contained in glass, and then nice seating areas inside, and that is the inside seating area. The choices of wines was lovely. We found one we liked, we stuck with it, and that's the one in the blue bottle there, the Eyes Are Dry. It was really lovely wine. And all-inclusive customers can have as much of it as they want. Buy it by the bottle, buy it by the glass. So breakfast serving, cheeses of course, some lovely cheeses. Cereals, I don't touch cereals, and the bread, great selection of bread, brown and white. Toasters were quite efficient, plenty of bread rolls, and then over on the next aisle you have the meats, hand wipes, lots of different choices of ham, chicken, etc. Butter, margarine, all the stuff you would expect. Over on this side we've got some salady stuff. And as you can see, the floors and the surfaces are immaculately clean. Everywhere in the hotel is kept clean. It's such a beautiful thing to behold. You never seem to notice anybody doing it, but there was always somebody doing it because it was always clean. So we have beans, and this is the cooked breakfast area, if you like. Not fully out yet because it was a little bit too early, but there's an egg station we've just passed. Bacon, tomato, sausages, everything you want for a standard breakfast, specifically English sausages, which were very nice, I have to say. So, coffee station, drink station on the right. Coffee machines were very efficient, produced what I thought was a beautiful cappuccino. And then various juices. Back to the cereals, there's plenty of yoghurt choices there as well. Glasses, obviously, for your juices, and Carver was always on tap as well, although I seem to have skipped it as I walked along there. A range of yogurts of different flavours and types. Another drink station. Microwaves are there. There have been some comments on TripAdvisor that some of the food wasn't always warm, but I certainly didn't need to use a microwave at any point. Excuse me. Fruits, melons. I adore watermelon. And then you've got your pastry station, which is superb. One of the nicest parts about the hotel, the food is usually very well labelled, and there is also a separate and distinct and clearly marked gluten-free area, which is fantastic. And then as we come back this way and turn left, we enter into the outdoor seating area for the main restaurant, which is gorgeous. It's just the right temperature. Reasonably sheltered, so it was never too windy, although a couple of times you did think my tablecloth is going to disappear. And then you can see here there's a separate area for prestige guests, and we did tend to sit in this area for most of our meals. I mean, why not? We paid for the extra cushions. Views, wherever you go, there's a beautiful view in this hotel, particularly over towards Fuerteventura. This time in the morning is sometimes a bit hazy. It takes sometimes until about 10 o'clock for the clouds and haze to lift and for it to become full-on sunny. But for most of the week we were there, it was full-on sunny. Temperatures went as far as 27, 28, maybe 30. But with the constant trade winds and the breeze that you get in the Canaries, it was never uncomfortable. So we go back into the restaurant and out the other side to continue our journey. Always a lovely atmosphere in the restaurant. It was there was a happy buzz going on all the time. I suppose is what you expect from a holiday hotel, isn't it? So back into the second floor area. The doors you can see straight to your front is where the main entertainment bar was. We didn't tend to go in there very often. It's quite crowded. There is a separate queue for prestige customers, and I think that sometimes annoys the other customers in there. But it did mean you got your drinks a bit quicker. Entertainment, we went one evening to an ABBA show, which was a lot of fun. And we did go one evening when I had to collect a medal that I'd unfortunately won during the shooting event. Point out it's air rifle shooting. It's safe and well managed, so there's no danger there. You have to be over the age of 13 to be able to take part in the shooting events. They have pistol shooting, archery and air rifle shooting. So just the outside view of the restaurant as we go down one of the ramps. As I mentioned, ramps, there are plenty of ramps around for the less mobile. And then as you come to the bottom of these steps and ramps, on the right there's the entrance to the Prestige Lounge. You go around the back, flash your card on the double doors, and you can enter in, and there, as you can see, is a little outside seating area. And I showed you pictures of the bar earlier. Excuse me. And again, there's the lunch restaurant. Always had a good selection. Always involved chips in my case, fruit and all the usual meats and fish that you would expect. So I had a walk around here. The Prestige Lounge didn't open till 9 o'clock, and I wasn't aware of that at the point that I took this bit of footage. But as you can see, it's just like any other part of the hotel. It's being kept very clean and tidy. And here's your entrance to the Club Prestige. And as I say, flash your key card and you can get in, provided it's open. And on this occasion, it wasn't. There's me flashing my card, nothing happening. How embarrassing. But I'll give you all a little chuckle. So back we go to the pools. These red petals that get swept up, and as soon as they finish, it's a bit like the Fourth Bridge. A couple of pussycats around the complex, that was one of them. They were no bother. So we'll continue on our journey around the pool terraces. Just over the wall here on the right is, I mentioned earlier, some of the garden view rooms. So they're ground floor, well, they're not ground floor, they're first floor because we're on the first floor here. And they have a couple of sunbeds each on their patios. And there's grassy areas for you to sit in and enjoy. And then you're just feet away from coming into the pool areas. So peaceful first thing in the morning before anybody else was up. Subject of lifeguards, things like lifebelt, there are just let you know there are lifeguards on duty from around 10 in the morning through till 6, 7 at night when the pools are officially closed, but people stay in the pool for as long as they can. The lifeguards position themselves a couple of places. There's a station on the right hand side of the pool there. There's also on the left hand side above this grassy area, there's a vantage point where the lifeguards can see clearly across both pools, and every so often you'll hear the peep of a whistle. Now I've taken a walk outside. This is the entrance to the Thalasso and Spa, and I just wanted to have a walk through here and show you what the features are. Again, the Thalasso and Spa doesn't open until 9 in the morning. The gym, however, is open at 7, and we'll have a quick tour of the area down here now so you can get a feeling for how lovely the facilities are. So as we come into the entrance of the spa, just a brief pause to make sure nobody's around. Reception area on the right where you can use your room key if you're on Prestige, as a deposit for towels and what I call silly hats. We had to wear yellow hats, swim hats, to keep our hair in place. Not that I have much. Changing rooms here on the left. Changing rooms I didn't film for obvious reasons, but they are comfortable. They have big lockers, and you get a key for the locker. They also have seating areas and nice showers in there. So this is the gym, or the main part of the gym. It's air conditioned, nice comfortable temperature in here. I think I did a really good job of filming in the gym while there were people working out without them appearing on the film. But as you can see, plenty of proper gym equipment, weights machines, rowers, and so on and so forth, and little fat Englishmen. Yeah, really well appointed gym, and then a coffee making area. Most reports tell me that the drinks in that coffee machine are disgusting, but I didn't try them, to be honest. So you enter into the spa area itself. On the right there are a number of plunge pools and a music area where you can float in water and listen to music, all very soothing. So you have 34 degrees, 27 degrees and 18 degrees plunge pools. I think those are the figures. So that one's nice and warm, that's comfortable. And that one, trust me, is freezing. I did go below the shoulders in there. Other half didn't. She went to ankle level and gave up. And then you've got the main pool area, and on the sides of the pool there are a number of bubbly areas and lounges, etc., and jacuzzi type areas. Then you can swim straight through out into the outdoor area of the pool, or you can walk out through the door, which we'll be doing in a few seconds. On the left, steam rooms and cold rooms. Everything you could think of in terms of spa facilities is really well appointed and kept beautifully clean as per everything else in the hotel. A few little sun lounges in here, although there's no sun in here, though you can have a little rest when you've been battered by the various bubble pools. The mushroom shape in the middle there just chucks water out at a high rate of knots. I found it quite uncomfortable to be under that, to be fair. Pool is at a very warm temperature, but not too warm. This gentleman that we can just see in the picture here is cleaning the outside areas. Did try to tell me that we couldn't be in here before 9 o'clock, but he was okay with me filming. Barley beds available to hire, free for Prestige, I believe, and sun lounges, but there's no shelter other than the trees down here. But this isn't really the place, I don't think, where you spend a whole day. Beautiful as it is, nice for a couple of hours. All-inclusive customers get a one-day pass, if you like. Prestige can use the spa every single day if they wish. We didn't do that, but we did enjoy it the time we did spend in here. So here we go, back out of the spa area. It's a really nice facility, I've got to say, really enjoyed it. Range of snacks. And then back out past the changing rooms and into reception. The reception people were really lovely here as well, and when you came back out and you wanted to return your towels, that black hole in the left that I just passed, that was where you threw your towels. And then on the last day we came down to have a final shower and change before we departed. We did get a reasonably late checkout. We got checkout at 3 o'clock. in the afternoon, but the trouble was we didn't leave until 6, so we spent another 3 hours by the pool and had a quick shower there. The gate to your front leads out onto a pathway down to the marina, and the gate we're going to take here on the left takes us back into the hotel. There you go, 7 in the morning, sun's just beginning to come up. This is the shooting ranges. On the left, archery target, on the right, rifle and pistol targets. Good crowds for that sport at 11 o'clock in the morning, and it was quite a sun trap down there and quite warm as well, so wear your hat. And this brings us up to the area alongside the saltwater pool and the beach area that the hotel's put together. So you have a man-made beach area, which is basically just sunbeds on sand, and then this pool is divided into lanes for lane swimming, is seawater and unheated, but still comfortable to swim in. And you're not bound to plough your lengths. You can just sit in it and enjoy its cooling effects. And this is where we spent the last 3 or 4 days when we were poolside on this lovely pool, because somebody told me that you get a better suntan if you sunbathe next to a seawater pool. So that's what we did. Don't know if it works or not, but we do have a good suntan by the time we finished. And those are steps leading down to the bottom pool and the pool bar, so that was convenient if you wanted a quick beer during the course of the afternoon. There are bins and recycling bins all around the area, and everything, I keep harping on about it, but everything was kept beautifully clean. So there's a bridge over, the top there takes you down towards the main pool, La Cascada, and we're going to go a bit further on from here. And again, I've done this early in the morning because we didn't want too many children on the video, but we're approaching the kiddies area now, the playgrounds, which is really well laid out, and does have some great facilities for young children. On the left you can see the playground area itself with the swings and so on, and slides, patch of green, goal nets, well maintained equipment, nothing appeared to be broken or damaged. Plenty of toilets scattered around the complex. So there's toilets there, and then this is the where the animation live. The animation team were lovely. We had limited exposure to them because we were mostly fly and flop, but they were great people. On the shooting events that I attended, they were hilarious, kept us laughing and kept things safe. Some more workout area there. I'm not quite so sure why that is so far away from the main gym and the spa, but it could just be because that's for people who don't want to go to the spa. And then as we come undercover here, you can see table tennis tables, etc. The bike garage, there are bikes for hire within the hotel, so that's where they're kept, there in the bike garage. And then there's machines for the kids to play on, pool tables, table tennis, etc. And all in all, great facilities. Again, the plant life is blowing in, but it does get swept out regularly. And then we come to a set of steps that will lead us back up to the second floor, and that's the little kids play area. Didn't have to take advantage of kids clubs, mine are all grown up, so we were just here as adults. There's plenty of facilities for young children and plenty of staff to look after them. So the area in front of us is the outside the entertainment area, and this is a spot where weddings take place. I'm sure you'll agree that's a spectacular view if you're going to get married, looking across towards the mountains at the southern point of the island. You'll notice it's quite peaceful in the morning. The wind hasn't got up yet. There's not a lot of branches being blown about. Later in the day it gets quite blustery, but still very comfortable. And the view overlooking the pool areas and the gardens. So our room is one of those up at the top there, on the 4th floor. Down at the far end of where the suites tend to be located, and the spectacular views from that part of the hotel. No sooner spoken than proved wrong. The wind has started to get up already. Okay, it's looking across towards the main restaurant as we saw earlier on. I liked the contrast of the volcanic stone up against the white of the walls. We'll zoom in on our balcony. So we come to mealtime again. This time we're looking at dinner. As you can see, plenty of nice looking veggies there. Various sauces, pastas, pasta sauces, and good choices. Garlic bread, pizza. That's all the normals that everybody expects. You can see vegetable lasagna and so on. And little tartlets, they were really nice. And then you come round to the cheeses and salady type of meals. I'm not massively a salad fan personally, but I did enjoy some salads. Always a good choice of fruit. And you've got a lovely choice of puddings as well. I'm particularly fond of jelly and ice cream. I should grow up, I know, but there you go. Can't get past that one. There's always a nice choice of different desserts, puddings, cakes, etc. Always got 4 choices of ice cream. I only wish the tourists would leave the doors shut on the ice cream to keep them frozen. A couple of times I couldn't have ice cream because it was just mush. But there you go, there's your choices. Meringues, cakes, all very, very lovely. Again, same areas kept for bread. Lots of choices of different breads, and then we come towards the main servery, which is a little crowded at this point. There's some more salads, prawns, mussels. It's the choice though. There's so much choice of different foods at every meal. I know there's always people that will complain, but I've got to say I found the choice was wonderful. There was plenty different options. I never felt, oh, there's nothing here for me. This is the main cooked food area. Show cooking, usually cooking fish or meat of some description on the hot plates there and then serving it up. There's a great range of fish, great range of meats. Quite often had veal on. I love a bit of veal. Chops, see the lamb chops there, and you can ask to have them cooked. And then there's roast, and there's always chips, always pork, always gravies, and at least one form of paella a day. So in terms of food in this hotel, we wanted for nothing. And those people that have complained about it, I really can't see. Hello, chef. I really can't see what the complaints were about. So typical day, sitting by the pool. As you can see, it's quite quiet, and this was a lot more into the day than previous shots. Just wanted to show you the breeze, which is fairly constant. It's what kept us cool. So in conclusion, as we come towards the end of it, this hotel is lovely. We had 8 nights. We arrived at lunchtime. We left in the early evening, giving us an extra full day. The all-inclusive AI package was wonderful. We wanted for nothing. Cocktails and everything all included. Lovely rooms. Whole place is kept immaculately clean and tidy throughout the day. And the staff, amazing. Absolutely amazing people. I've mentioned Miguela before, but she was so helpful. We had a little bit of a problem with getting the minibar refilled. She and Azara were wonderful at getting that sorted out. A couple of the waiters were superb. Wanted for nothing. Squeezed orange juice, freshly squeezed orange juice for breakfast. Good food throughout the day, plenty of booze. What more could you want? On a general note, Jet2 as a holiday company I find amazing. No issues with booking, very helpful during the flights and the journeys. The pickup arrived on time. There are about 6 to 8 pickups between us and the airport. Checked in very easily, straight through security, grabbed something to eat at Lanzarote airport, got on the flight, got home. It was nothing short of exactly what we needed in a holiday. Fly and flop, lovely time, no stress, and a lovely location to be in. So guys, if you're looking for your next summer holiday, I can thoroughly recommend Hotel Costa, Calero, Thalasso and Spa. It's in Puerto Calero in Lanzarote, and it's wonderful. Thanks so much for watching and listening to my name chuntering. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and follow. You don't see many videos from me, but I do like to get to hear people's comments and questions, so feel free to drop me a comment below. Thank you so much.